Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining this Bequant webinar. My name is Ralph Derek Brown and I'm one of the product managers here at Miro. Yeah, I'm very excited to have and host this Bequant webinar. Joining me is Jose Lopez. He is the CEO of Bequant and he will actually be presenting on the Bequant part. But before we get into that, I'm just going to quickly run through what we as Miro do as a company, how we can empower you to empower others, and then also, if you do have any questions, please feel free to pop it into the chat box. We'll attend to all the questions in the question section at the end of the webinar. Okay, awesome. Let's start. Okay, so within Miro, we are currently 20 years in this industry. And the reason why we add this bragging point is because we really know what we're doing in terms of solutions that we're building for clients. We know what works in the industry and what doesn't. So yeah, we have been 20 years in this industry. We've got loads of experience within the company to make sure we give you the perfect solution. We're also part of a much bigger group, the Deco group, where we've got a BE level 4. We are fully ISO compliant. We sell to over 35 African countries. Currently, we've got 6 branches. So we've got one in Cape Town, Durban, Nelspruit. We've got our HQ here in Gauteng, Centurion. And then we also recently, well, I'm saying recently, 3 years ago, we opened up a distribution center to keep even more stock for you guys for your day-to-day purchases, as well as all those bigger projects that needs to go out. We currently have over 170 staff members working for us. And a very interesting point is we've got over 3,000 items on our sales catalog. And obviously, we're a very innovating company, meaning this number will always increase. We always try to sign up the biggest and latest and greatest brands onto our portfolio to give you guys the greatest solutions at that time. Another interesting fact is 98% of our orders are shipped that very same day. Just obviously stating once again that we actually have stock and can get that out as soon as possible for you guys. In regards to our training section, this is a very important part for us. We have certified over 2,500 business partners. And then in 2021, we shipped over 1 million products. Okay, and that's that for our flex sheet. So let's go on to our next sheet, next part. So why should you choose Miro to be your trusted ICT partner? So we obviously have tailor-made solutions. We've got loads of experts within the company that can help you do pre-planning for your specific application, give you the specific product that will work for that application. And let me just check if there's any questions. Okay, there's no problem. Okay, cool. Yeah, like I said, tailor-made solutions specifically for your application. It's very adaptable. We try to adapt it according to your needs. We've got the complete solution. So from our Wi-Fi portfolio, which is our routers, mobile routers, LTE routers, fiber, everything. We've got a fixed wireless portfolio, which is our wireless point-to-point and point-to-multipoint solutions within different frequencies. So we've got 2.8, 5, 11, 17. We've even got the millimeter waves and 60 gigahertz radios, 80 gigahertz, and so on. We also have we also pride ourselves with our support that we give our clients. We've got pre-sales support, technical support. We even have on-site support. So if you've got an application where you need one of our technical guys to visit the specific site, let us know. We'll get you guys a quote and get the technical guide to that specific site. And then also in regards to legal compliance, we make sure as product managers, before we bring anything into South Africa, we make sure it is completely legal to sell and has all the regulations ticked when and before bringing it in. In regards to financing, we've got very cool financing options from 7 to 30-day credit terms. That's just nice to have for that day-to-day sales, for the quick collections at one of our branches, or you can obviously order it online. And then obviously for your larger projects, we've got IPFin, which is our finance house that we're partnered with, and that's obviously there to help you just finance that large projects that you have in the pipeline. And then social media, we're quite active on social media. We try to post all the latest and greatest technology, unboxing videos, promo videos, just very nice informative videos, and just normal posts on our LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, wherever. We've got it all. So if you don't mind, follow us on our social media pages. We're on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. We're on YouTube as well. We've got a very exciting website as well that you can browse through, and you'll definitely get a nice solution for your application. Then in regards to training, let me go to the training slide. So we've always tried ourselves with outstanding training. Like I mentioned earlier, we've trained over 2,500 business partners. That's pretty impressive for our training department. However, times have changed and we had to adapt according to everything that's going on in the world at the moment. So we created a Miro Academy platform. So on this platform, you can just go and visit www.miroacademy.co.za. So on this platform, it's completely relaunched. It's a new look and feel. We also have online training platforms as well as in-person trainings. I know everybody missed in-person live events and trainings, so we brought that back. We have action-packed event schedules, road shows that is on the calendar itself that you can go and check and book your seats. We've got trainings at all of our branches. So if you're not in Gauteng, we can send our trainer to the Cape Town branch, to the Durban or Nelspruit branch to make it easier for you guys. And ad hoc requests available as well. So if you have more than 5 employees that needs to be trained up, let us know and we'll try and make a customized training solution for you and send our trainers specifically to the site in order to make things even easier. And then we've got also 0 to hero trainings now available on the Miro Academy platform. It's very affordable and very informative, and it's really there to help new employees to get on the bandwagon as fast as possible. The reason for this is, once again, just to get them on the bandwagon as fast as possible, but not only for new employees, for existing experienced employees as well, just to get back to those basics and remember everything clearly again. And then also we've got top certified trainings such as Radwin, Microtik, Cambium, Ubiquity, Zeketeco, and many more. And there's really, if there's anything that you need or want to request from us, let us know and we'll try and help you as much as possible. Like I said, you can either go to www.miroacademy.co.za, or you can go to our website at www.miro.co.za and just then click on the training tab. Awesome. That's pretty much the look and feel of the training platform. This is when you are on our website, you can just click on training and events and it will take you directly to the training platform. This is pretty much what you're going to see in Miro Academy. So you're going to click on, there's video courses, certified training, where there's webinars that's being hosted on this, events, and this is typically your 0 to hero trainings. So we've got 0 to hero solar solutions, 0 to hero fiber, IoT, IP surveillance, VoIP, voice over IP, understanding wireless, and networking fundamentals. So it's pretty cool. I think it's very informative, and once again, it's nice and affordable for a company to easily get all the employees to do this. Again, and then obviously, like I mentioned, we've got a jam-packed schedule throughout the year. So if you want to go check out the events, please just go to the calendar and then see what events are available. We'll normally send out marketing mailers as well. Okay, that's that for the training platform. My last thing that I want to talk about is our new website, new and informative, exciting, and innovating website that we created. Okay, so on our website, a couple of value-adding features that companies and clients can use, but they don't know about. So on our website, we can offer you pre-configuration. So if there's at a click of a button, obviously there is a small cost involved in order for us to do this, because pre-configuration does take time and labor. So there is a small cost involved, but there is an option for that. And that means you can send the router or whatever directly to the client, and it's plug and play from there. Then you can check all your warranties on all the items. You can log a return on our website. You can set an alert to be the first to know when new stock arrives. Okay, so that's pretty cool. That's a very handy feature to use without even having to call in. You can also download your full price list. It is live, so the prices will update, so you don't have to worry about the prices not being correct. And then also there's free marketing collateral that we're going to launch soon. That is just specifically for the WISPs, and well, not WISP per se, but any client of ours, just to help them save on their marketing budget. So that means they don't have to go and design their own stuff. They can just plug their own logo onto the marketing material and Bob's your uncle. And then we've got a well-established case study library. Sorry for that, it's not sturdy. Study library, where we have a lot of success stories. So go check that out. Go check out what kind of brand you're looking for. There's a couple of success stories on all of our brands. So go check it out. It's maybe a good base to stand on when choosing a specific solution. Okay, and then we've got a free XML feed that will actually give you and integrate our website with yours. And that's at the end, a direct window into our warehouse. So that's pretty cool. It will show what we have in stock, our prices and everything. It will just link to your website, making your life easier if you're running, for example, an e-commerce kind of website. Guys, that is that for me. If you want to go visit our website, www.miro.co.za, that is the song and dance from my side. I'm going to hand over to Jose, and he is going to present on the Bequant part. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Raf, and thank you to all the attendees. We are very happy. We're working with Miro. With them, we've reached many South African customers, and we would like now to show the new features and what we're doing with our product, and hopefully be able to reach new people so that we can help them. And how do we help you with our product? Let me go. What can we do with the BQM product? We can help you if you have low or irregular speed test, if you're an ISP, and that's something that you may have sometimes, or if you have low video streaming quality or stalling or latency issues in online gaming, abusive usage by subscribers. Maybe some people are using their connection in a unfair way, using it too much. No subscriber quality of experience. Maybe you lack those measurements to see when there are support calls. And we can also help you mitigate congestion and reduce internet bandwidth. So these are the things that we can help you with. And how do we help you? Well, we help you with three functionalities that our product gives you. First one is TCP optimization, that will give you a faster network. Then you have bandwidth management. This will allow you to lower the latency of that your subscribers see, and also reduce the bandwidth, and so avoid some congestion. And finally, we have network visibility, the ability to let you see inside your network what is going through it, who is using it, how, if the subscribers, what problems they may be having. So it will allow you to have your network under control. And so how is our product? Our product is really a software that you install on a standard off-the-shelf server, and then becomes an appliance. It's very easy to install. And once you have this appliance with the server and our software, you have to install it, place it in your network so that traffic goes through it. It's an inline node because we are an active node, and we'll work with you to see which is the best place to install it. And so let's now go into in depth into each of the three features with which we can help your network. We can help your ISP deliver higher quality internet to your subscribers. So What do we do with TCP acceleration? What we do is to increase the speed experienced by your network users, which is not the same as the network speed that is available to the users, because the speed experienced by the user is actually the speed that the applications use. So if someone of your subscribers is using Netflix, for instance, and that subscriber has maybe a 10 megabits per second connection, but Netflix only uses 5 megabits per second. 5 megabits is what this subscriber think. He will think he has. That's what he has. So basically, what we do is to avoid that unused capacity, to allow applications to actually use all the network speed that is available to them. In that sense, that then your network will feel as a faster network, and it will actually be a faster network for your customers. And so, well, of course, why don't applications use all available network speed? Why would Netflix send at a lower rate? And well, that happens. It happens with TCP, and Quick, and basically all transport protocols that are their internet. They are the ones that usually on the server side decide at what speed to send, and they are designed so that if they detect there is any congestion on the link, they will transmit at a slower speed. This is to avoid internet congestion. The problem is that in many occasions, when it's not a perfect network, and it seldom is, if there's a wireless link, today there's always a wireless link, almost always with Wi-Fi, at the end. If there are high latencies, if there are lossy networks, TCP and these other protocols will think that there is congestion and start sending at a lower speed, and basically there may very well not be any congestion, and so you're in the end getting a lower speed when you could have a high one. So with TCP, we can help you. It is the most popular internet protocol. It's used by most applications. And how do we help you? Well, we work as what is called a transparent TCP proxy. It's it's in the RFCs, it's in standard node. It's been widely used for many years, for tens of years, in satellite networks and in large cellular mobile networks. What we have done is to have that functionality that has been working in those kind of networks, make it available to networks that have basically those other networks could afford it because it was a fairly expensive functionality. Now we think it is available to you at a much affordable rate. And basically the thing is that when if the transport protocols are what are limiting the speed, this is really the only way in which you will be able to increase the speed. Well, you can also invest more in your access network, but usually that will be more expensive than just deploying our node. And let me show you how a transparent TCP proxy works, because it's actually, when you see this with this animation, you will see that it's not magic. It's something that makes sense, really. And so let's think that we have these two servers, and they want to send 7 packets. This is just an example. And when the TCP wants to send 7 packets, it'll do it in rounds. So first send 1, then 2, then 4, then 8, something like that, so that they're trying to probe what's the link capacity, the link speed available. So when the clients, which in this case are in this example on the left, they get a round of packets right, they send this acknowledgement, this packet saying this right, send me more. So on the top we'll have a direct path, basically, and on the bottom we'll show you a path with TCP transparent proxy like ours. In this case, 5 seconds, so that we see this the packets flowing. Your network will be more milliseconds, not seconds. So when the first round of packets reaches us, this is the key. We send an acknowledgement packet as if we were the final destination client, saying that it was right. And so when this acknowledgement gets to the server, then it sends the second round, which we will get earlier and store in a buffer we keep for every connection. Now, when we get the real acknowledgement from the end user, we can already send out the second round. So we've gained with that, in this case, for instance, 4 seconds over the path on the top. And the same thing with the third round. We can send it out earlier. And in this case, for instance, if this has taken 17 seconds, these 7 packets on the top will be 4 and 4, well, 4 seconds more per round after the first one. So 25 seconds. So the key here is that this buffer that we built in our node, that basically has taken the contents out of internet, and now the contents are in your network. So we are able to send them earlier, and so this makes the communication faster. If the contents are now closer, this subscriber, when it sends this acknowledgement, it gets the next round earlier. So it's seeing a lower latency, and basically this means a faster network, faster download, and even more if there were any packet losses, because TCP will also retransmit them, but you see, we'll now retransmit them from our node. So this is early, we will be doing that earlier, and also not using any of your bandwidth, internet bandwidth, which may be expensive for those retransmissions, because now we will be doing those retransmissions that happen often, especially if there's any radio, and we will then do them from our node because we have that buffer. And finally, even if the contents, all these advantages so far seem to come from the fact that we've taken the contents and made them, we've put them closer to the end customer. But sometimes those contents may be coming from a cache server sitting right next to us in large networks. That's common. Even in those cases, in that case, well, the fact of getting the contents closer doesn't really matter in this because we are only, it's maybe 200 microseconds closer. That's nothing. But we still get a faster speed, because when doing this thing about sending 1, 2, 4, well, that basically finding the right speed to send that, we will not get confused as irregular TCP does, and we will reach the optimal speed and not send at many times at a much lower conservative speed. So the end result is what we measure here. This graph has a lot of data, but basically it's the results in 12 different networks. This is we just looked at the Netflix downloads because Netflix is very common around the world, not because there's anything special about Netflix. And we've measured the average speed of Netflix connections that were being accelerated, optimized by us. Those numbers are here in red, and compare them with those same numbers, but for connections that were not being accelerated, because we always leave a very small percentage of connections without any optimization, just forwarding them, but we measure them, and in that sense, we can then in real time see how good we are doing, comparing the speed of those connections with the ones that we optimize. So, for instance, in this case, if you look at this wireless ISP on the left, you'll see that it's with us, the average speed was 3.83 megabits per second, whereas without us, it was 2.01 megabits per second. So same network, but with our node, it just was going faster. And Netflix was not, it could have been sending at 3.8 megabits per second as we were, but it was not sending at that speed because of the reasons I mentioned, because it thought there was a congestion in your network and that network. And of course, you can see that this has been in these 12 networks are very different. There are fiber networks, there are cable DOCSIS networks, there are 4G mobile cellular networks, all kinds of, because TCP for us is the same in all those. Okay, so that's the end result. What we can do for you is to make your network feel faster and actually be faster, experienced as a faster network by your subscriber, which will reduce the support calls on your side. For instance, this is one of our customers in South Africa, in Interworks. They told us, he told us how when he deployed our node, he got much few fewer support calls complaining about low speed test and results, and also fewer support calls about buffering when streaming video. So overall, he got a happier customer base. Okay, so next thing, bandwidth management. Okay, so we can offer you a very flexible bandwidth management, which will allow you to have speed limits, set speed limits to based on the user plans, on you may have your user rate plans, on application, or based also on the throughput. Well, basically the network throughput we can measure when your network may be reaching congestion levels, and then apply maybe some limitations when that is being reached. Or you can do that also in terms of source and destination IP. You can have versus maybe some specific, like I show in this configuration. This is just a screenshot from our application. Maybe for your 50 megabits per second plan, the fiber subscribers get, when it's near congestion, video streaming is somewhat limited, but maybe for your radio subscribers, when it gets to that level, you apply more of a limitation, and you do all this really to offer the best quality, because in those situations, what you want to have is really the bandwidth, fairly distributed between your users. So in the end, all this will allow you to deliver a higher quality internet to your customers. So, and as I say, in fact, you can use many parameters to define what speed limits in each case you want to apply. And it's also efficient bandwidth management that we can do with our node. We can support up to 150 gigabits per second per server, standard off-the-shelf server. Depending on how many gigabits per second you may use, you will use a lower end or a higher end, but it's always a standard server. And this allows you to do this in a more centralized way. Instead of having many nodes around your network, doing this will be in a much more centralized way, in which that can many times be interesting, easier to manage, and also be less expensive. And we also, since when we do this, if you're doing this, of course, you will probably be doing this with some other, you're enforcing your rate plans with other nodes. But in many cases, if you're doing, for instance, you're using PPPoE servers and you're using a number of them, sometimes many networks, we've seen that we can do with one node what maybe you may need maybe 10 or more nodes of PPPoE servers to do this, because we have a very, very efficient implementation for this queuing technology. In the end, if you just add up the cost of our server with our software, will be lower than for instance, the number of PPPoE servers that you were using so far, because you will still use those because we don't do PPPoE, but it's just that we take away just the queue management from those servers. And so when those servers, you take away the queue management, we do that to enforce the rates. Basically, that's usually the application that takes most of the CPU. So probably you can now do whatever you were doing, just the PPPoE and maybe some other functions with one server, whereas before you needed 10, because that's what we've seen, that the CPU can be reduced a lot when you remove the queue management. And you're not only getting that, you're also getting a better quality also, not only more flexible, more economical, it's also a better quality rate limitation. Why? Because, well, see, whenever you apply any speed limit, there will be a bottleneck. That node, whichever node you use that, well, basically packets come at a higher rate, and then we let them go through. Right? So they have to wait, and wait in a buffer in a queue, and it fills up at some point. And basically when it fills up, because packets have to wait there until they get out, there's latency, and and sometimes also packet losses if there's not enough buffering or not enough, the queues are not big enough. So in principle, you get lower quality degradation. But when the thing is that it doesn't need to be you don't need, we challenge that. The thing is that we think that you can actually get away, you can actually do the rate limitation and probably not have that quality degradation. How? Well, we basically, the thing is that to realize that when you have congestion, when you actually reach the limit, the speed limit, whatever it may be, heavy flows like streaming, software downloads, which make the most of the the bandwidth, they adapt themselves. Okay, and they don't really care that. I mean, they adapt themselves quite well. And of course, they will go slower, but they will not suffer especially. They can adapt the resolution of the video, for instance, and they will be mostly fine unless it's very aggressive limitation. Sorry. But interactive flows like online gaming, teleconference, Zoom, Skype, voice over IP, those applications really suffer because they don't like the latency, packet losses really kill them. So the key is that we can is about avoiding this, just making sure that those interactive flows don't suffer. And the good thing is that usually those interactive flows are in fact the ones that produce the less traffic. So you can play with that, and this is what we do. And let me show you. Basically, what we do is the key to our technology is we have one queue per flow, but really one queue per flow. Others say that we really they end up sharing sometimes, but we really have one queue per connection. And how does and also in addition, we also add priority to interactive flows, to queues that are holding interactive flows. So how does it work? It just, if you compare, for instance, you have on top some other solution and us on the bottom. So let's think packets are going to be coming from the internet on the right and going to the client on the left, and we are doing this bandwidth management here. So as the first packet comes, it's the same thing. We build a queue, they build a queue, and then it waits until it's time, to adapt the speed. Now, this is some YouTube flow, for instance. Okay, so packet keep coming. And now the first difference is when you have maybe another flow, someone also using another streaming, Netflix in this case. Now, the difference is that we build a different queue for this new connection, okay? And so we store things, the packets as they come in that new queue. So, so far, quite similar. Now, when we start sending out packets, this is the first difference. We will be sending one per waiting queue. So this will, in fact, start giving you better quality because we'll be, the bandwidth will be shared more evenly between different applications. Now, but the real difference will come when you get this packet, for instance, in this case, let's suppose packet from Zoom comes, and it will get its own queue. And now, as it comes, well, it's in principle, it was the last one that sent was this one. Now you would have to wait just one more time, this other queue, and then it will be the turn for this. But no, we even go further. We prioritize it, and now it will overtake that one. So basically, this packet has come, and for there is a limitation, maybe a severe limitation, but this packet didn't notice because as it came, it went out. And however, on the top, without our technology, basically it has 10 packets to go. It's going to wait for quite a while. It's going to get, quite a significant delay. So that's, and here's where basically we've managed to do same thing, but now without impacting the interactive flows. So in the end, your customers will be noticing much less, or maybe not even notice much, the fact that they are being rate limited. So we also can reduce even the heavy queues like YouTube and Netflix. We can also help there with the, for instance, in the TCP proxy with the acknowledgement packets that I was showing you before. Those they can carry information so that we can tell the server exactly which packets to send and effectively set the speed limitation at the source, at the server. So when you get the server sending at the same speed as what you're sending out, then basically it doesn't build as big of a queue, because queues are built whenever someone is sending at a higher speed than the packets are getting out. So that will really help you. For UDP, we cannot do that because that's all encrypted and all that, but we use the most advanced active queue management technology, Codel, for that. Okay, it's not as good as TCP proxy, but it also does help in reducing the size of those heavy queues, because you also want to reduce that, of course. And we really think that this is the best solution that you have that's available on the market. It's really superior if you use any simple queues, simple queues or statistical FIR queues. There's sharing there, per connection queues, there's sharing there, FQ Codel, that's also with sharing cake. All those technologies, in fact, will produce. We think that, and you can. It's fairly easy for you to check that this will work better. Just use one or the other, and the testing is quite simple. So this is to show finally. Okay, so we give you a flexible, more efficient, economical, more quality, and then it's also a system that's fairly easy to integrate with in your network. We can get, for instance, you can, for instance, configure in our node which plans each IP, each subscriber is getting, but we can also get that information via radius accounting, for instance, from PPPoE servers. It's a very, very direct integration. We'll basically get it up and running in no time. We've done it in many networks. It's completely, for instance, if you use MikroTik here, if you use, well, just talk to us, but it's we have this running in over 250 networks, so we can really help you get this up and running in no time. And it can also be accessed through a REST API, so that maybe from any you can program, and you can do from your subscriber management system. You can actually get that to send us the rates. There are different ways, but it's very flexible also there. The end result, for instance, this is an example. In one network, we are measuring all the average latency in that network. The average latency went down by quite a while when they stopped using their PPPoE servers to do this rate limitation, and they started using our system. And then also, this is another example, another network. This is the traffic from many days, different days of and then they started doing this, for instance, application limit for video streaming when reaching congestion, and with that they managed to get their bandwidth at peak time, during the peak time, by down by around 80%. The end result was no complaints because of this limitation, because in fact the quality can be better when you actually limit, like for instance, maybe you're not letting, when you're getting, if you have congestion in your network, maybe you if you just limit a few your users not to have maybe 4K resolution, but overall maybe everyone can get HD. Well, that's much better than having a few getting 4K resolution and some of them really having a very poor thing. So in the end, with this limitation, this is intended many times to really get better quality. This is a new functionality that's coming. This is doing this in an automatic. We're using artificial intelligence, machine learning. We are finishing. We'll have this ready in a few weeks to do this really automatically. Instead of we will actually detect what is the limit for each subscriber, that if there's a congestion limit, and when we see that we reach that, then we limit the speed. We see that there is maybe some link there that limits actually speed to 8 megabits. Well, then we'll set a limit to a little less, maybe 7.5 megabits. And when you you limit to in that way, in fact, the quality is much better, because when you actually reach the congestion, the latencies and losses increase exponentially. We are testing it now. We've seen how this really gets the top delays, for instance, much lower. But it's something that will be available to you if you have the support and if you have our solution in the coming few weeks. In the end, when our customers use this, they say how they are getting lower. For instance, this customer is a large network in Honduras. They talk about how they got a significant reduction in latency, and they saved a lot because they were using fewer PPPoE servers. So, in summary, better quality at lower cost. Network visibility is about telling you, since we are in your network, seeing all the traffic, you'll be able to see how much Netflix, how much this is, for instance, one network, 3 days of one network at each time, how much YouTube, how much Netflix you have. You also get to see, for instance, your 20 or 30 top subscribers, so that you can see the patterns, how they use your network. Maybe sometimes you can see that some of your subscribers may be using it to the full speed. Maybe they have a virus. There's some issue there why they're using the top speed all the time, 24 hours. And so it'll help you in many situations to be able to see this. And also, we can also record for 3 months all the, for instance, the subscriber usage, how much, what's the usage for each of your subscribers, but also not only that, but for instance, also for 3 months, what is the top speed that they are getting at each time in your network that we are able to see that they reach. And for instance, this guy is getting like it looks like 39 megabits per second. So if this guy has 40 megabits per second limit, that's quite all right. But imagine this guy has 50 megabits per second, then you're not really delivering what this guy has, your commitment. So you can start to see, maybe with us, with our system, why is that? And so you can go and see for this subscriber, what is the average, the latency this subscriber is getting. And maybe in this case, you have in darker color the latency this subscriber is getting, and in lighter color the average latency for the whole network. So this guy seems to be okay because it's not getting more than the rest of the network. But if you then go and see the retransmissions, the packet losses, basically, that we can also measure and get for you, and again for 3 months there, you'll see that if the average losses in this network are around 2 point something percent, this guy has around 7%. So maybe this is the key why you're not getting that quality to this guy. So this can tell you maybe this is a fiber connection. You can say that maybe there's some problem with the connection, or you can actually, well, it's data that we give to you to analyze problems. And you can also look at, for instance, the number of flows that this guy is creating. Sometimes, there you can see someone that may have virus or some attacks. But even though for attacks, we also can detect some of those, the SIM flood attacks, volumetric attacks. We can also tell you, who is getting attacks, who is attacking from your network to other networks, and which are the targets, the sources of those attacks. And so in the end, when people use this, and this is one of our customers from the Canary Islands, he's telling us how with many times he gets complaints from his customers, support calls, and very specific, like this is slow network or it's not working well. Now with us, he can actually look and see real numbers and see what is actually happening, and so it allows him to analyze subscriber traffic and then solve diagnose the problem and then solve the issue. So this is as I said, we have over 300 nodes worldwide in over 250 customers. Some of them have more than one node. We have a lot of customers in Europe, where we started in the south of Europe, and also in all the American continent from Canada to Chile, and also many customers now in Africa, especially in South Africa. And we're starting now in Asia. The deployment, we think, is quite easy. We send you this software as an ISO file that you install on an off-the-shelf server. We help you select that server. It can be one that you already have. a new one that will help you, dimension accordingly. Then you put it in your network. It works at level 2 like a bridge or switch. Basically, everything that comes through one port goes through the other port. Well, it can be many links. The links can be from 10 gig, 1 gig, 10 gig, 25, 40, 100 gig connections. So you then have another port for the management, and then usually many of our customers establish a bypass link. We can work with you, which is to see how to do this bypass link in the best way. Each network has maybe different. As for the recommended hardware, well, it depends on your the dimensioning. Will help you also there. How much, but you can see, for instance, that you can get, for instance, for 10 gigabits per second, you really don't need a lot. This is server that may cost around, at least $1,500 US. I don't know in rand, but it's not a high-end server at all for 10 gigabits. And then the highest end server for 150 gigabits per second is around 15,000 US. So for 1 gigabit per second, it'll be a very, very low end server that you need. So talk to us. We'll help you find one that you already may have and use that, or get a new one or a refurbished one, whatever. And you can even use us with a virtual environment. We support VMware and KVM. Okay, so our license model, we offer you always a free trial. We're saying we do great things, and we would like you to first test them and see how they work. And if you get those same numbers, or to see what numbers you get in your network, we'll help you deploy this together with Miro. We'll help you get it up and running, and also we'll let you use it for a couple of weeks. Then we see the results that you're getting, and then you can decide if this adds value to you. Over 80% of our prospective customers go ahead and acquire it. You can get a monthly subscription or a one-off perpetual license as you like, and you'll always pay as you grow. It's a license, depends on the gigabits of, for instance, these are the prices for the monthly subscription. This is in rands from Miro, and you'll have from 3,370 rands for 500 megabits per second, if that's throughput in your network, or up to 20. Well, here we have the prices up to 20. Then it can go, as I said, higher than that, and it can be those can be shared between different nodes. Well, we will work with you to see actually what's the best option in your network. So this is all about what we do, and if you, we would be very happy to talk to you to see any questions, and also if you want to try it for free. But maybe now, if we have any questions, we'll be also very happy to answer them if we can.
Hi, Jose. Yes, we do have a couple of questions. So the first one is, does your product accelerate IPv6 and encrypted traffic?
Yes, it supports IPv6 just like IPv4, and it's encrypted traffic. Yes, because the encryption is SSL, and that's TLS, sorry, and that goes over TCP. So as long as it's TCP, HTTPS, for instance, we don't look inside those things. So for the acceleration, it's not a problem at all.
Awesome. Okay. Then the next question is, will your solution improve speed test results?
In some cases, yes. No, it depends on, if you already are getting the top speed that you want. Sometimes it's, but in some cases, and I must say that has happened, especially in South Africa. We have seen significant increases in speed test. So, well, when you have a speed test problem, sometimes it depends, if it is, the connection to this, the physical connection to this subscriber is not, has a problem, then we will not do magic. If the radio or whatever you have there is not good enough for that speed, it will not. However, and many times, if the problem lies with TCP, we will help there for sure, and especially if they do a TCP speed test against a server in a more remote location. We've seen that in many cases they do in South Africa tests like against London-based or Europe-based servers. There we can many times offer significant improvements, but the best would be to try it out.
Okay, great. The third question that we have here is, how does the Bequant improve the online gaming experience?
The online gaming will be improved to the extent that if you have your network now and it's reaching now congestion in some cases, in those situations, as I said earlier, the online gaming will be one of the applications that will suffer the most. So if you're using our bandwidth management, then that congestion situation will be something that subscriber will not notice, will notice much less, and so basically it'll get a much better online gaming experience. It's true that much of our online gaming is done on UDP, so for there our help, the TCP acceleration is not helping you so much. It does help in some parts because, for instance, when they download maps and all that usually uses TCP, so that will be faster also. But the actual online experience, it'll be basically because of the reduction that we do on latency or packet losses.
Cool, thank you. Next question is, apart from video streaming, can you limit P2P traffic?
Which one did you say?
Apart from video streaming, can you limit P2P traffic, peer-to-peer?
Peer-to-peer. Yeah, we can. Our DPI can detect some, not all. We're working on getting it all. We can detect most of the, for instance, the BitTorrent variants. And so once you are able, we are with our deep packet inspection, we are able to detect it. Then you can apply a special policy to it. We can also detect, for instance, software downloads like the typical Windows, Apple, Android things, and we can also, and we can also detect some other different video streaming services, PPP. And so far, as I said, some of the BitTorrent ones we can detect. Yes.
Awesome, great, thank you. Got another question here, is what happens if the traffic exceeds the license? Will they get notified or just
well, basically there what you get, we don't physically limit the traffic. So you have a server that can handle 10 gigabits per second, and you have a 2 gig license, and you suddenly get traffic above 2 gig, maybe 3 gigabits at some point. Basically, we will not stop that traffic. We will just basically not optimize, not enforce limits on 1 gig. We will only enforce limits and do optimization on the up to the capacity that you've contracted. The rest will go through just it will just be forwarded without any intervention from us.
Okay, cool. Thank you. That makes sense. Next one is, can I start a monthly subscription for a few months and then buy the annual license?
Well, yeah, you can do that. I guess yes. Some of those things is better to treat as a case by case, but sure.
Okay.
Some customers do that. They start with a monthly license just to try it out. When they see they're going to use this for very long, they do switch to the other to the perpetual license because economically in many times it's actually better. But like in many places, when you're paying up front, it's usually more economical.
Yes, of course. And then the last question that I have here is, does the price include the support as well?
Yeah, the monthly subscription, yes, of course, and the support includes all the new versions with new functionality. And the one-off, it includes the support for 1 year. Okay, after that 1 year, you can buy extra support at 10% of the cost of the license.
Of the license. Okay, that's awesome. Then there's no more questions I see, but especially for new WISP, when they want to start with Bequant to implement it, what is the steps to get to the point where they implement the free license for the, I think it's 14 days, Jose, if I'm not mistaken, and how do they go about it? Will Bequant jump in and help with the free license experience, or what is the process behind it? Just for, obviously, there's a couple of new WISPs on it that wants to implement Bequant, but just want the steps, the specific steps they have to follow.
Yeah, well, the first step is contact Miro. Then we'll talk with you to see how's your network, so that we see where to put where it's better to put it. Then we send you an ISO file that we send you instructions. We help you install it in the server. First, of course, we help you decide on the server whether to buy or use an existing one. Then you install it. It's very easy. It's like installing a Linux distribution. We also help you. Many of the most of these people we've shown that these 300 nodes have been installed by their respective those customers. And so that we set it up, put it in your network. You start seeing how it works. We also help you see how we talk with you and show you how it runs and how to use it. And then after a couple of weeks, we see the results. You tell us, we tell you what we see. You tell us what your customers say, and then you decide.
Brilliant, thank you. Yeah, and just on another note, we do have servers. If you don't have a server, existing server on your site or at your site, so yeah, please just call in, ask the guys for a quote on Bequant, and you guys and the server quotes to get you guys started. And Jose, I think that is that for now. I don't see any more questions on my side. Once again, thank you so much for this very informative webinar. If there is any questions though that any of the attendees might think of later, please feel free to email it directly to me at ralph@miro.co.za. So it's ralph@miro.co.za. So yeah, any questions, please feel free to send it to me. I'll make sure to give you the correct guidance in order to implement Bequant into your system. Jose, thank you so much on your side. Do you want to say anything before we go?
Well, just thank you also, and and thank all the attendees for their interest.
Great stuff. Oh, and lastly, this webinar has been recorded, so if you've missed something, please feel free to go and watch it. I think it is going to be posted on our social media platforms as well as Bequant. Jose, is that?
Yep, we'll post it on. We'll have a YouTube link for you.
Brilliant stuff. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, and may you all have a wonderful day.
Okay, thank you. Good day for you.